Hey y'all.
We back.
Welcome to That Couple Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Kimberly Gums, and this is
your boy Cleeton Gums, aka Cleet the Geek. Sorry, BKA.
Thank you.
Cleet the Geek.
Here we are, week 3. Come on.
And we're here. We're here again.
We're here.
Hey, listen, consistency, right?
That's right.
We making it happen.
That's
We're
right.
doing the doggone thing. You
Come
know what
on
I mean?
now.
So, hey, we just happy to be back. Exciting week. Exciting stuff this week. So yeah, let's dive into it. What's going on?
Well, first off, welcome to That Couple Podcast.
You see, I'm excited to get into the.
I know, right? Let me tell the people, this might be their first time tuning in with us.
You're right.
So, like I said, I'm Kimberly Gums. This is my lovely husband, Cleeton Gums. I was about to say Kimberly Gums again. Cleeton Gums. And we are That Couple Podcast, where we talk about all things married life, parent life, Disney life, Universal life, Marvel life, DCU life. Wait, DCU?
Yes, DCU.
I said MCU. Oh, you say DCU?
Well, you said Marvel and then DCU.
I never said a DCU before.
Yeah, because they're popular.
Yeah, okay.
I just said they're coming around.
We talk about the shows and the movies that we love to watch together.
Right.
We are big rom-com watchers.
Enthusiast.
Thank you. I like that.
Yeah.
Rom-com enthusiast. I am a Christmas enthusiast, so that's a whole other thing. And he's a gamer. And yeah, we talk about all the things, right? So we are that couple, and guess what? Y'all are that couple too.
Right.
So thank you all so
y'all.
much. Yes, we appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for tuning in. I always say you didn't have to, but you did. So we thank you. Be sure to follow us. We are on Apple and Google Podcasts. We are on YouTube and on all major platforms. So be sure to like, share, subscribe, and also write a good review.
Yes, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I believe I got it. Yeah, I'm looking at the camera.
All right.
Yes, sir.
See, before I try to be all stealth, but y'all that couple, we just relax, you know, and that's the beauty of doing podcasts in 2023. You could just, back in the day, you felt like you was putting on a full out production.
We're like, messed up. Start over.
but like all my shows on ESPN, I mean, all the live shows, they all go through the same stuff.
And the podcast we watch now.
The podcast, they just have stuff happens,
Right.
So it just makes it so much easier to create content now, right? We
It
could just
does.
be, hey, you've seen in the previous episodes, had to go do something in the home. And
we almost thought we weren't recording.
Right,
So
right.
we're like, wait, stop, pause.
So I think it creates a bit of authenticity that we want to be associated with. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, that's my little rant on that. So,
anywho, babe.
What do we got this week?
How was your week?
My week.
I know, and this is okay. So our updates for this week, right? They're gonna tie our personal / parent updates are gonna tie into the kids updates, so we can mush them together this week.
Good point.
All right. So how was your week, babe?
Well, if any of you tuned in last week, we were preparing for an encounter.
Okay, set it up. Okay.
I'm in a little league tournament, and let's just say we showed up and we showed out. Come on now, we won the area championship. Let's go, man!
Regional champs, y'all.
I'm still in awe, man. I'm like, if y'all heard my tone last week, I'm like, hey, let's just go out there. And
we're going into this thing. Hey, we're just having fun, okay? No pressure.
And especially with our son, dealing with anxiety, we wanted to make sure, like, he wasn't coming in there too worried, that he could just be himself and play, because, at the end of the day, it's a sport. Right. You should be able to have fun with it. So, without taking the whole show to talk about this, I'll say this. We showed up. We had an amazing team. We had majority of our teammates. We were able to play with some new teammates. Yeah. And meet their families. It was really a great experience. And it was a one-day tournament. So all in all, we played 4 games. And
4 games, y'all. We were out there.
Yeah, we was out there for a minute. And we had a lightning delay. So
lightning. And I just want to take a side note. Shout out to all the sports / like the extracurricular activities that our kids are involved in that the parents have to be participants of, because like just in this set of championship games that they did on Saturday. Oh my gosh, it was like the moving back and forwards for me. Okay, like after each game, we're like, okay, we're playing on this field now. All right, so we go and mind you, like we just don't have chairs. We have like our bags, like snacks, Gatorade and stuff for the team and for ourselves, and also for our daughter and niece, because they're a sensitive side, they're not really paying attention to games, so we got to make sure they have their charges for their devices, because they're not paying attention. They want to be on their device or play, and then we have like this big tent, so literally after every game, this game finished, okay, we're gonna move, we're playing on this field, so we're moving back to this field, and then all right, we're done with this game, we're moving on to game 3.
It's a lot just
going back and forth, but it was well worth it. We didn't expect to win it, but they pulled through and they played hard and played well.
It was something to see, like to see them rally together. We have been coaching all season for them to cheer for their teammates and be excited for their teammates, and we didn't have to say nothing. They were, every touchdown, they were leaving the sideline, running to the touchdown, celebrating as a team. They just had cohesion. They had everything just came together. I mean, like on the grandest level, like NBA Finals or the Super Bowl, like
right.
It's just like you see when people are locked in and they want it. So this last thing I'll say on this, we had some sweet revenge. Okay, bittersweet revenge. So we represented our area, and there were a total of 3 areas represented in our particular age group. When it was all said and done, the 2 areas were just competing. One area kind of called out last second. So out of our area, we were the 2 top teams, right? Us and the Giants. So we went through the tournament, and we ended up seeing each other again in the championship. Like this is a movie. This is a book, right?
And mind you, said on the side note, like the Giants was the team in the regular winter season that they were undefeated.
Yeah, they beat us the one that every beat us time when we talked about a few episodes ago.
They beat us every time we played them, and they were just undefeated.
So we played them a total of 5 times now. I did. Yeah. This was the 5th time. And
oh yeah, because we played them in a scrimmage game too.
Scrimmage game. Season started. Yep. So we lost all 4 times.
Yeah.
Including the championship for our area.
Right.
For our league.
Right.
But once again, our league was represented in the area tournament. So what are the odds? We see them again in the Super Bowl. But our guys, just something about having that cohesion, believing in yourself. The kids were ready. They weren't, the last time we played them, they were very afraid. They were very nervous, right? They were doubting themselves. But today, if they had those doubts, they went away because these kids were playing their hearts
Saturday.
Out. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm still in it. I'm still in it.
Still living it, But, it's okay.
So we get to the game and, play the game, and it comes down. It's a tight game, right? It's a tight game. So we're up. We scored. We went for a 2-point conversion and we got it, which turns out to be the thing that made us win. So they get the ball back with 28 seconds. I mean, this is like feeling like the NFL, like the tension.
In the movie.
You should see the parents on the sideline. Everyone's standing up. Everyone is just like intense. And I'm like, these kids are delivering on the field. So on the other side, these guys drive on the field. It's not the biggest field, but they still drove the field in 28 seconds, got to the end zone, makes an amazing catch and scores a touchdown. Now they're down by 1 point. Oh my gosh. My guys, they're all there. And when I say my guys, I'm talking about the defense. They're all playing their parts. Everyone's trying their hardest.
Had a great defense.
Great defense all season. Great defense the entire tournament. So they throw the pass. The Giants throw the pass. The kid catches the ball. And it's like my heart is just like... And then I look at how he's landing, and he lands out of bounds. Oh my gosh. Pandemonium, okay?
You're like...
Like, he's out of bounds. I mean, parents stormed the field, kids running everywhere.
My sister ran. She ran on the field like she was.
It was. And then the name of the league is Under the Lights. So ironically, or not ironically, but just happenstance, we were playing at night. We were under the lights.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just what you couldn't imagine in a heroic situation. We beat the guys that beat us the entire time. We overcame the Giants, no pun intended. beat them by 1 point, won the title, took all the pictures, got the trophy, brought the trophy home.
They each got their, what do you call it?
Medals.
Medals.
Every kid got a medal.
Champs on the back.
Yeah.
So it was good.
I mean, just an amazing experience. Once again, we started this weekend. If you watched the last episode, I wasn't doubting that we could win, but I just didn't expect it.
It just wasn't expected. We're just gonna go in. Oh, we're just happy to be invited to, because oh my gosh, they've only been playing for a full year.
Right. It seems like 3 years.
It does, because it's been several seasons in this 1 year. But the first season, going from the first season last year to this year,
I mean, we went from winning no games
completely 180
to one season. So one season winning no games and only getting one touchdown the whole season.
Yeah.
Then the next season, pretty much more of the same.
Yeah.
I think we won one game. I can't remember. The next season, the third season, is when we started to actually turn a corner, right? So we didn't have a good beginning of the season, but we finished the season strong, and we were literally one play away from going to the championship.
Right.
And then this season, we did a little recruiting. I signed a few living rooms and made some promises.
Signed some contracts.
Yeah, man, just leaps and bounds this year. The coach for the Giants, I mean, he just was, at the end of the game, hats off. He was like, man, you guys are amazing. What you did, how you were able to turn this team over in a season is just amazing to watch.
Proud of y'all, babes.
Thank you. And then my son got his first touchdown.
Oh yeah!
Come on, man.
He got a touchdown. How can we forget? He got a touchdown in one of the games.
We've been trying to get it to him, because he plays defense majority of the time, but he's very fast.
Yeah.
So we're working on his running skills, and he has just pure talent, his uncle calls it, and it's true. His acceleration,
speed,
his ability to accelerate is it's very great. It's very good. So,
and it was before he made his touchdown, he was like, "Mommy, I haven't run the ball yet." I said, "Don't worry, Aiden. You're gonna have plenty of time. You're gonna get it in." And then he ended up getting a touchdown
with his mouthpiece in his mouth. I just see him now. Oh, just so proud as a dad. Yeah, it was a proud moment. I'm proud that he was part of the team and that he won. But it's always even better, when they contribute, right? So, right. And he put some main
flags.
Some flags that needed to be pulled. So. My nephew scored, shout out to my nephew.
Nolan, he ran that thing.
He ran it back. Yes. He caught a pass on the side and ran it all the way to the touchdown.
He was gone.
And he has to, we always talk about this kid. He doesn't run full out ever in practice. He never runs full out.
But when
it's time to go, run from the practice field to the car. Oh my gosh, he runs. Usain Bolt.
He gone.
So he turned them burners on in the game. It was amazing to see.
It was good.
Shout out to everybody, man. It's good.
So Falcons, and I love and Cleve busted out normally the mom team. We have our chance right during the game. We got our chance. We got our sister, but then I don't know what rose up. And babes over here during the game. What was the new one?
We are. I say we are, and they say Falcons.
Yeah.
We are Falcons.
Yes, we're like, I don't know if you heard us on the side.
I heard that. I got the boys crunk. They were hyped. They were hyped, man. So yeah, shout out. Great.
That was good.
Great weekend. I mean, like Kim says, it kind of summarizes our week. Along with, I know Kim might have some stuff, so let me not say that, but it summarizes the kids part, right? What happens with the kids? It's
for Aiden.
For Aiden, yeah. So
for Paris, I don't know. I do have. Okay, so in the past week,
you got some stuff for Paris.
Yes, a Paris update. She did dance class. She loves dance, so nothing out of the norm. It was typical dance classes last week, but this past Monday, we went. I was a chaperone on their field trip, right? She's in first grade, so a bunch of first graders, and we went to a theme park, y'all.
Oof.
If you were in my stories, I said, please pray for me. After I worked out, woke up earlier, around 5 to get my workout
Good
in.
Job.
So that
Still working out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Fine before 40. Well, I'm fine now, but
Yeah, you are.
Trying to get snatched. Anywho, so if you follow me in my stories, I was like, y'all pray for me as I pray for you, because I'm about to go on this field trip with these first graders to a theme park, and the theme park we went to was Legoland. Y'all, let me tell you something. Mind you, like, I only had 2 people. I had Paris and one of her other classmates. They were the only 2 that don't like roller coasters, so I had them 2 in my group. So we did the rides. Before the field trip, the teacher had all the students in the groups that they were going to be in a theme park with write out 5 rides that they want to do, so they kind of have a plan, once they get there. So they had their rides already, and there was one in particular, y'all. I don't know if y'all ever been to Legoland, specifically Legoland, Florida, here in Winter Haven, Florida. Let me tell you, if you have never been on this ride and you go to Legoland and your kid or kids want to go on this ride, be prepared to work out.
Yeah.
Be prepared to fully work out. It is called Rescue Academy. I don't know if Cleet can insert a video as I'm talking.
Yeah, I'll put the link. There's a YouTube video. You could just see.
Can you show the video though while I'm talking?
On this part?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Yeah. He's Cleet Geek,
Well, do I need to insert the video?
So they can see it. So they can see it as I'm talking.
I'll see what I can do.
But anywho, so okay, for the people. What'd you say?
I said no promises. I'm just gonna give you guys a link. There's a lot going on.
Anywho, so okay, it's called Rescue Academy, and basically there's teams of people, basically the people you're gonna go on this attraction with, right? And you get on a fire truck, and it was 3 of us, so we were in one, and then there were other parties. So I think there were 2 more fire trucks of people or whatever. And basically, these fire trucks don't move on their own. You have to do the movement. There's these I don't know, what do you call them, but the things pumps that you got to push down. Somebody has to be the steerer. So if we're going to go this way, the steerer has to have the steerer this way, and they have to hold it that way the whole time while the 2 people are one on this side and one on this side while you're doing the pump. Work. And that is what actually moves the vehicle. Mind you, I'm with 2 first graders, so they're not really doing anything. So Mama, I'm here with all this stuff.
Ooh, I would have been so.
The Legoland guy, the Legoland crew member, he got behind the truck and he pushed us. So he was. He saw me struggling.
She like,
I'm like, my hands
you're like, look at this lady. Look at this lady over here.
But anywho, so yeah, I'm pushing it. So as you're pushing it, you get to one side, you got to get out the vehicle, and then the same people that kind of do the pumping, you got to pump the water, and the person that was a steerer.
So there was more after that?
Yes, so once you get to that side, you all got to get out the car. You got to pump the water, and one person has to direct the water to the it's like a target on the building, and you have to basically put the fire out. But it's like a target, and once you hit it, it turns green, and the bell rings, and then you all got to run back to the fire truck, and then you got to pump. The steerer got to pump it. Got to hold the steerer this way so you could go this way. So they got to hold it
the way you came.
To go back the way we came, and you got to go the whole time, and he got.
And it's like a race, ain't it?
It's like a race with the other people.
No way.
So y'all,
no sir.
I was not prepared, and it's like I saw it. I didn't know till I saw it right before we got on. I'm like,
did y'all even come back? After you got and did the water thing, did you come back?
Yeah, I had to finish. But the crew member, the Legoland crew member, he got.
I would have went halfway towards this way. I literally, we done with this ride.
He pushed us. He helped and pushed us, and then he was laughing at me going off. I was like,
"The heck!"
I was like, "Girls, y'all gotta give me a few, a minute or 2 to catch my breath, because
that's too much."
Anywho, at the end of the day, I had on my watch that I burned 703 calories.
Come on now. Getting that workout.
I believe the majority of that, after my morning workout, I believe the majority of that was because of that.
She had swole arms.
So I didn't even work out the next day because my back was all sore. I was like, never again. That was one attraction, one and done.
Yeah.
I think we should try it next time because our kids want to go back.
Y'all won't have a
Aiden has never gone. He wants to go, so I think Cleet could definitely. You know who would want to do? You know who would do that?
Nolan.
No. Well, the adult.
Uncle Brandon.
Nope.
Uncle Wayne.
Nope.
Oh. Oh, her sister. She gonna be doing that thing with one hand. She like, this ain't that bad.
If y'all know my sister Bree, we call her Xenia.
Xenia. I don't know who's Xenia. That's the black version of Xena.
The warrior princess.
Yeah.
My gosh.
She gonna do that thing with one hand.
She would kill that thing.
She would enjoy that. She sure would.
Yes, she would. So she would be the one to ride that one.
Yeah,
with the kids.
I agree.
But anywho, so that was my week.
Well, what else was cool about being there?
Oh, how can I forget? So last year, our family did a photo shoot at Legoland, and
Make it plain.
to make it plain, basically like our faces are all throughout the park. When you go there,
like we did a commercial photo shoot, not just like, we went to take our own photos.
No.
We did a commercial
for Legoland.
Yeah.
So one of the marketing materials was for their new ride, the Pirate River Quest, and you can see us. That's throughout the park as well. We're on the riverboat towards the one that uses. Of us on the back. However, on some of the email marketing and on their website, you would see us in the Aiden and Cleet in the front.
In the forefront of the boat, yeah.
Of the boat.
We did a lot of shots, so they got different ones where we're in the back and front. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's another photo. Oh my gosh. This photo is like everywhere in the park, right? It's the one, it was in the water park, and meaning the photo shot was at the water park, and it's Aiden and Cleet.
We're like splashing
around in the water, and literally like one of the signs is like one of these big signs on the building. I'm like, like the teacher took photos and texted me. She was like, "Oh, we saw y'all in the park."
Yeah, we'll try to put some.
It's like throughout the park on your way out and
editing this week.
Yes, so. Once you're out of the park, you can see the pictures. Yeah. So that was real cool to see. I'm like, oh my God, that's us.
Yeah, and then for Paris to be on a field trip.
Yeah, she's like, that's my daddy, that's my brother. They're like, it is? Yes.
Yeah.
And she's eating her popcorn, of course.
Right. And then she's in a few, right? But it's just smaller.
Yeah.
So, but that's pretty cool.
That was real cool. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, we've had people from our football team that have went. There's
people we know, like literally hit us up.
Wait, are you, Coach? Were you? And like, yeah, oh my God, I saw you all over the park. Yeah. So that's been an amazing experience. Yeah. So, and I thought it was cool for them. I think we all need to go, but it's kind of hard to go there when you go to Disney a lot. I'm be honest. So I ain't gonna badmouth the park.
As a side note, being a Disney family, and that we are annual pass holders to Disney, and we frequent.
You see that? You hear the bouginess in the voice.
The Walt Disney World parks a lot, and I'm not even going to mention the other one.
Yeah.
Because it's all right, but I mean, it's still Disney, but we're Walt Disney World people, right?
Yeah, because we might work for some of the people. So
you're right. We're Walt Disney World people, so
we like all theme parks.
Disney has really set the bar.
Okay.
Ooh, lip touching the microphone. Disney has really set the bar really high. So anywhere else is very.
It's hard.
It is hard.
It's like your expectations. You're like, oh, this is your main attraction. Oh, okay.
So
it's cute. It's nice. Cool.
Like if you're like a family like us that like you love Disney and you want to go to another theme park like Legoland, just have the right expectations. It's not necessarily going to be a magical experience, but
it's gonna be
it'll be definitely something that your kids will love.
Yeah.
Because our kids are still asking us, like Aiden, even though we were there for the photo shoot, we didn't get to do any of the rides.
Nah, they had us working 8 to 5.
Yeah, we were working. We were working in those Legoland streets. Man. So we have to go back to take him because he wants to go. Now that Paris has gone and was able to get on some rides. So we do have to go back, but just have the right expectations, that it's not going to be Disney, but it's something that the kids will absolutely love. But a pro that I would say in going is that the lines are not like Disney.
Yeah, that's true.
The waits,
it's not
and
as
stuff
crowded
like that. So you don't have to deal with the crowds. I know it could get crowded, but it's Legoland crowded. It's not Disney Universal crowded.
Yeah.
So
well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
So that's all I would say about it.
Well said.
But anywho, so that was our past week. Wow, I feel like we talked a lot about that, but
I knew it was gonna be a good portion. We had a lot of good stuff come out this week. So yeah, I know it's like wow, we got a whole. We didn't even get into the show.
To the main topic.
Yeah.
But anywho, before we get into our main topic today, we want to take a quick time just to hear from our sponsors.
Yeah. So our sponsors this week is
That Couple Podcast. We're your hosts, Kimberly Gums and Clayton Gums, and we are that couple. And guess what? We're not only that couple, but y'all are that couple too. Yes. Now, what makes us that couple is we like all things married life, parent life, Disney life. What other lives we got?
Marvel
life,
all the shows,
rom-com life, Christmas life. We
just out here lifing.
We just out here lifing, right?
You know what I mean?
And like trying to always be our authentic selves.
Right.
And we know that we are not just that couple, but y'all could be that couple too.
We know y'all have similar thoughts and likes and and some things you may not see in the same perspective. And it's not about everybody agreeing all the time, but it's just about the things that's giving you a take of two millennials growing up and having an amazing relationship and raising kids and just experiencing this world. So we hope that we resonate with you all with the views and values and perspectives, and it's just a good time. The goal is just to have a good time.
Get a good laugh.
Yeah, for me and Kimberly, we love podcasts that are just like this. What we're creating, it's just like you have another group of people that have similar likes and desires and wants and all that good stuff, and then that it's just a time for you to chill. Hour and a half a week. You just have another couple that you're like, hey, that's my crew, that's my vibe, and that's what we're trying to create. We have that with some podcasts we listen to, and we're recreating that for people that are like us. So that's the goal. That's
right. So be sure to follow us. We are on Apple and Google Podcasts. You can find us on YouTube, and we're also on all major platforms. Yes. So be sure to like, share, subscribe, and make sure you leave us a great review. Yeah. We appreciate it, y'all. We're That Couple Podcast.
That's right. All right.
So now, this week's
main
topic. So, y'all, like I mentioned before, me and Clayton, we love rom-com shows, rom-com movies, and also reality shows. We've been talking about Married at First Sight. We are a little behind, so we do got to catch up. But we've been watching the last several seasons of Married at First Sight, and now recently we've been binge watching Love Is Blind season 4. Now this is our first This is our first season watching Love Is Blind. Yeah. People have been talking about it in one of the podcasts that we love to follow. They've been reviewing it, so we're like, listen, we gotta catch up on this show, right? So we haven't been able to watch their last one, which is the review of the reunion, but we've been binge watching the latest season so we could get up to the reunion, and all we have left now is the reunion to watch. So
we just got up to you said so.
Yeah. Sorry. So anywho, so as we're watching these shows, Married at First Sight, Love Is Blind, me and Clayton, one thing that we love to do is like doing the shows, we'll pause it and we'll have like commentary, bantering going on, like, oh my gosh, how could she do that? Or how could he do that? Or oh, I like that. They gonna make it. Or
of this or whatever.
Just like the conversations that we have on these shows. So so you brought up the question.
Yeah, we thought it would be cool to explore. So the show Love Is Blind, the whole concept of that is what the title is, right? Can two individuals fall in love with each other without seeing each other first, right? And then of course the other show we've been watching, or we've watched for several seasons now, is Married at First Sight. So can you marry someone kind of like an arranged marriage, right? Can you get married to someone not knowing them and then fall in love? So So, we kind of like, we've had several discussions around the concept of, can you fall in love with someone at first sight, or maybe taking that down a step, can you fall in love with someone in a short amount of time, right? Can you meet them and immediately have a connection with them,
right,
to the degree where you're like, oh no, we not only are into each other, but let's just go ahead and get married and move on, Right. So, I think our answer to this has changed over the years. If you asked us this 10 years ago, we'd give you a totally different answer. But yeah, that's something we wanted to explore in this conversation, in this episode. Like, so one thing, how you want to do it? Do you want to just talk about the show, the Love is Blind show, and then get into this topic, or we kind of just like bring up the couples as it makes sense, I guess?
Just bring up the couples as it makes sense.
Yeah. So
combo.
So Kimberly and I, let's talk about us.
Yes, our story.
I think that's a good place to start.
Here's a story.
Of course, we're going to stay high level. It's our business, okay? Because it's our business. Let's shout out to Tabitha Brown, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Because that's our business.
Because it's our business. You know what I mean? But for us, so we met in college.
UCF.
Yeah, UCF, and we met at the. I would say we met at the ideal time in our collegiate lifestyle and our relationships that we had at the time. It was just timing was just on point. Now let's take a little step back. Let's take a step back a year, okay? Year of now somebody say way back in the day. No, I ain't that
way back in the day.
But in 05, okay.
Yes. I was a newly initiated member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Yeah, this is 2005. This is golly, it's a long time ago. So, she just became a Delta, and I was friends with one of her line sisters. So
right.
It was her line sister's birthday, in college, and maybe now, friends have their birthdays and they have a little birthday dinner. So she had a birthday dinner at a restaurant, and I'm invited, and then all of her line sisters, all 22 of them.
It wasn't 22.
But it was a lot of y'all.
How many of them?
It's more than 20.
What's my line name? Not my line name, but my line's name.
20.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry. Where I get 22 from?
We have 22 founders.
Okay.
That's
I know
right.
20. Oh, and then your birthday. I know 22.
22. Yeah, 22.
Sorry, it's 20.
Is associated.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, you see, she almost slapped me. Y'all saw that. She almost smacked me right out of my seat.
He's supposed to know this info. Okay. Know your information. Know your information.
So, you see where I got to tread lightly, okay? If any of y'all married to a Delta, you tread lightly. You hear me? Okay. 20. Okay.
He knows it.
Yeah, I just forgot. Okay, so it was a bunch. It was a bunch of them, right? So I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I just came to support my friend, right? So I come and I'm sitting closer to her side. It's a long table. There's a whole bunch of people there, and I'm sitting at one end of the table, and I just happen to look up and I see this just oh my gosh, just like I still replay that in my head, just like
I'm walking
randomly.
Slowly.
Yeah, it's just like a straight movie. I always think of, because I watch so much movies, I love like creating content and watching these stories play out on the screen and in books. So she just walks in and, let me tell you the time. Okay, she had a jean jacket outfit on. Okay, this was
what kind of top?
With a baby fat. She had the baby fat top. So that was the joint, right? I'm like, First of all, she got money. Okay, baby fat, wasn't cheap.
2000s, y'all remember?
Yeah, so she walks in, she got the little Indian braid thing going on.
Not the Indian braid.
So I'm like, I hit one of these like, whoa, who is that, right?
It was me.
So I'm like, I couldn't even I immediately reacted and just said something to my homegirl without even thinking. I was like, whoa, who's that? She was like, that's my line sister, but don't worry, she got a man. She ain't looking for you.
I was in a relationship at the time.
And I'm like, okay, I just asked who that was. I've never seen her. Okay, why you gotta come at me like that, So she's like, don't worry about her. She got a man. I'm like, okay, I just asked. But she's like, I'm gonna tell her though.
Got a man at home.
But she's like, I'm gonna tell her though. I'm gonna tell her that you asked about her. I was like, but you just said she had a man. But I don't like him. I'm like, okay. So she goes over there and she, I see her talking to her, and I see Kimberly look down my way, and then that was that, right?
Yeah.
So, without going into crazy. So anyway, that happened. That's 2000.
1 year later.
Yeah, that's 2005. So a year later, and I think we might have talked about. Did we talk about this whole how we came together?
We haven't. We have to do an episode of how we met.
This is kind of almost.
I know,
into it,
but we have to because of time,
Yeah, you're right. We got to do the fast version. Yeah. Okay, so let me skip to the fast version. So anyway, we got together. So I'm gonna just skip all the details. Good. Yeah. I'm gonna skip all the details. I'm gonna talk about the first phone conversation.
Yeah.
This sets up the whole concept of this. So a year later, I asked her. I'm coming out of a relationship, a tough relationship, and I'm like, hey, what's up with your girl? She's still talking to dude, and she's like, matter of fact, she ain't. Let me give you her number. I'm like, oh, okay. Whew. All right. So I know, right? I didn't know. I was just shooting my shot, right? So she gives the number, and I think you called me back, or did you call me? Or did I? No, you called me because I was leaving the gym.
I can't remember. I don't remember.
I was walking across the street from the gym, and then I think I saw the call. But I think she's like, she set it up where she's like, hey, I'm gonna give y'all numbers, and then I'm gonna tell her to call you at some time, right? So it's not like she was like hunting after me.
Hit me up on my next tell.
Yeah, she went. That was your next tell. You had a next tell. Oh Lord, I think I had some T-Mobile phone. So she calls me. And first of all, let's just this is to add this little detail.
You don't have to go into that's will be on the episode when we go into it. Yes. Leave something for the people.
Okay, all right. So anyway, we talked for like 30 minutes, like right off the bat.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, how you doing? Now granted, without going into details, we did talk in between that year. We did talk briefly a few times. Just cordial, like, hey, how you doing? That kind of thing. So we get on this phone call, and that first phone call, like I said, I'm walking to my car. So, I got to my car and even drive off. We talking for like 30 minutes. And then the next 2 days we talked before we went on our first date. And in my...
After that initial, we talked every day.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I'm setting up.
Oh, yeah.
So, setting up this this whole topic... I kid you guys not. I think for those first 3 conversations, before we even got to our first date, I was like, this is the one for me.
Oh.
Like, I was...
Me?
No, I mean, it's just like the connection, and you, if you watched Love is Blind, they talk about connections, right? Yeah. And it's like, I get it. Like, I felt at home with her. Like, I felt like she was a part of me already. It was so, and she could explain her feeling from those first 3 days. But because we went out on Friday, I called her on a Wednesday, and we went on a date on a Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, like 2 days later.
Yeah. So, but those first 2 days, and we talked for, like, the first call was 30 minutes, then it went longer and longer the next 2 calls before we went on our first date. By the time I was going to pick her up, I felt like she was the one. We hadn't even gone on a date yet. But
your girl spin that game.
Wow. Oh, that's funny. Hey, maybe, because she had me rap. I was just like, I couldn't stop thinking about her. Like, I was just like, she is everything I've been looking for. Like, and it's just the way she talked about family, the way, I don't know. It's just, I felt at home. Like, I felt like, it's like you get a feeling like, oh yeah, that's my family member, right? This is my family. I felt like this was my person. Like, that's the word, that's the term they say.
Yeah.
So hearing them say that, I'm like, oh, we legit went through that.
Yeah.
Because I felt like this was me. This was my person.
Yeah.
It was different from like, oh man, this girl's cool. I really like her. Like, I like some stuff about her. It was like, no, this is me. So anyway, we proceeded to go on our first date, and then to Kim's point, we talked every day ever since, and that's been 17 years.
17 years, yeah. 17.
And we went about, how many years would you say that we've seen each other every day? We went a few years of just seeing each other every single day. Because, college is compounded, right? So, you go to school, you back home. So we saw each other every single day. Like, we didn't, even, I think
unless we were, like, holidays and, like, we went home.
Okay, so maybe that first year you went home, but then I came down there to visit.
Yeah, you did. You visited because I danced.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then every little holiday before we started kind of doing our things together, I would come down because I would go to my people, and then I would take the train up to her.
Come on, Tri-Rail.
Tri-Rail up to her to spend some time with her. So we had a few days here and there. Let me put it that way. We had a few days where we didn't physically see each other, but as far as talking, every day since.
Yeah.
And it's been 17 years. So saying all that to say, like, so I would say, oh wait, your side. So those first few days, what were you feeling? What are your thoughts?
During those first couple days of talking before we actually went on a date. No, it was like a relief, like, oh, I'm finally like talking to somebody, because like Cleet stated, we both have recently at that time gotten out of relationships, and especially relationships that weren't necessarily healthy. Right. So now to meet someone who is healthy and whole, and like,
I don't know how whole I was, but
well, you know what I mean? Like, you weren't broken.
No.
Oh,
you're right.
And like, you're meeting the criteria, like in terms of like, because we, like you mentioned, we were, talking for the first couple of days before we actually went on a date. So in our talks, you're hitting all the areas, like family, what's your goals, what's your religious beliefs. That's like number one. Okay, can't huge. Be unequally yoked, right? Because I'm not trying to work with unequally yoked. Like, that's not a project for me. Not saying you can't do that, but that's one of the projects I didn't want to work on. So that was big. What's your goals? Do you want kids? Like, all of those things, so to finally meet somebody who was on the same page.
I mean, from day one, we both wanted kids. Like, we
a boy and a girl.
2 kids. Never was an argument about that. It was easy. Oh yeah, that's what I want too. Boom.
Now, the only thing that I would say, I don't know if I should save this for the episode we talk about
your plan.
Well, no, I was going to talk about that, me being the cougar.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. That's
I was gonna say one of my biggest things on my list. I didn't have a list that I wrote down, but my mental list, and
go ahead.
In terms of the ideal guy that I wanted, the man I wanted to marry, was he had to be older than me, and he had to be older than me.
I'm older spiritually.
Let me tell y'all, I am the cougar. In this relationship, okay? I am the cougar. I am older than Cleet. Now, I'm not even a full year older than him.
Let's not get it.
We're 9 months apart, people, okay? So
it's not that crazy.
We're not years.
We graduated the same year from high school.
Yeah, we're 9 years apart. I mean,
9 months.
Oh.
Wow, you're really a cougar.
Really? Not 9 years.
Hey, go ahead, take 9 years off me. No,
we're 9 months apart, right? So not even a full year. Like, I was always the oldest in my class. Cleet was the youngest in his class.
Yeah. Other end of the spectrum.
But we were still in the same.
Yeah.
Same grade.
Yeah.
So not that big. But that was one thing that I said. But because of everything else checked off, that wasn't an issue for me anymore. It wasn't a deal breaker for me anymore. So, yeah.
Yeah. So that's her take on it. My take. So we came together in a few days. Oh, when did you know, or when did you feel like I was your person?
Oh, towards the beginning. It was towards the beginning, and it didn't take long. Like I never was in the situation where I was like wondering and like, is he the one?
Right.
Is he? Like, I could see myself from the beginning, like, marrying you,
like
and having
from the
kids.
First few conversations,
Yes.
first month or so.
Yeah, like within the first month. Like, I already knew, like, this is my person, and I could see our future together.
Yeah, we did. So we had this whole thing where we said, "I love you." I was down actually visiting her. She was doing a dance at her church. She told me about it. So I surprised you, didn't I?
You did.
I did. I surprised her, and showed up to the dance. I was like, "Oh, you're doing the dance? Okay, cool."
Yeah, because that's when you bought me the gift.
Yeah.
That you made.
Drawing?
Yeah.
That's when I did a drawing.
He
okay,
drew
I was
me,
over here
but
drawing.
we'll save that for the episode when we talk about.
I try not to get into all the details, but that was a month into it, right? When we said I love you. Or was it longer? Probably a little longer.
Wasn't that during the holidays when we went home to do that?
Yeah,
dance?
so it was a little longer.
Yeah, that was a
little longer. So, and that's the game you play, right?
Yeah.
When you're dating, you're like, I'm feeling this way. Yeah, I'm feeling this way, but I ain't gonna say it because I don't want to make myself too vulnerable too early. But I knew, she knew, right? So anyway, so that's our story, right? So it sets up this conversation on, I don't know about Kim, but I went through a stage where, okay, we got together, we got together our way, and then, we got married, all this stuff, yada, yada, perfect, right? But then you start to look at other couples and you're like, well, they, because we ended up dating ultimately 3 years before we got married. Now, so then that became my criteria in my mind, like, you got to at least be with someone about 1.5 years, 2 years before you know that they're the one. You got to be able to go through some ups and some downs and stuff. So I went through that stage of thinking for a long time. But I've been revisiting that. And I'm like, I think that's inaccurate because that wasn't really the case with us. With us, the difference with us is that we were playing it safe, essentially.
Exactly.
We had the feelings already, like from day one.
Yeah, we knew.
Right. But, our upbringing, our circumstances at the time, we were college students, right? So we weren't going to run out and get married in a week or a month, right? We weren't at that stage where we could do something like that.
Yeah.
So fast forward to the show, you start to see these couples and we're going to talk about the disparity between
the two shows.
So in Love is Blind, which one you want to talk about? The one that ain't working well or the one that's working well?
The one that's not working well.
Okay, so in Married at First Sight, the concept is, it's an arranged marriage, right? The experts put these two together, and then their job is in the 8 weeks they're to come together and decide if they're going to stay married. So they have some things that they're built. Now let's just set this up, okay? It's on a network. I ain't gonna talk about the network. Nope, not gonna do that. So,
but y'all can look it up.
You can look it up. Just look it up. I will say they, now looking at the two shows, you see that they don't allow for Married at First Sight for them to be as candid, right? It's a little bit more scripted.
Yes, because they give them like the prompt questions to ask.
Right.
You could tell now, having watched several seasons, you can tell they're giving them questions to make sure that they're asking each other, whether it's the couples asking each other the questions or their family members, when the family members come into play, them asking questions. You could tell. And they don't
really let them go too far for that.
Yeah.
So they have to stay in those confines. So you don't really get
doing their ads within the show.
Doing their little ads, their little sneak eyes, right? They're like, oh, I bought this ring and it was so easy to buy.
Show up the website.
And then they show the name. Yeah, it's like, okay, that's clearly an ad. Now, so it's really scripted in that regard. I was about to say something, but it'll come back to me. So
that they're not letting them be like authentic and.
Oh, so you start to see with that show, a lot of off-camera stuff dictates what happened on camera. So you'll come back and you see. We always talk about the shot where it's just the one person.
If they're filming themselves, something happened.
Yeah, as soon as they come on, there's one person. Oh, what done happened now?
Yeah, and that's the thing I don't like about Married at First Sight, because clearly like things have happened off camera. I'm like, well, why? Like
that's the good stuff we need to be watching.
It's disconnect with the audience, because the audience are like, well, y'all were just fine. What happened? What took place? And that
and then they
wouldn't be
catch
the
you
case.
up, but it's not even like a real catch up. It's like we just did with our relationship, like how we came together. We left out a lot of details.
Yeah.
So it's like when they come back off screen and they're just like, yeah, we had an argument and we didn't see eye to eye, but we're working through it.
Similar to like not the current season, but the prior season with I forgot their names, but it was with the Asian guy and the girl
Steve
who worked out.
Moy.
No. The second season we watched.
Oh, yeah.
And they would have a blow up. And I'm like, well, what happened? Like, we're missing something.
Yeah, because
like,
he was talking to one of the other guys.
running his mouth
about
their
stuff that
relationship.
was happening.
Yeah. And we're like, wait, clearly something else is going on.
And she was so
she's
angry.
Too angry for what they've been showing us. She's too angry. So something.
Yeah. And then you end up finding through the other couple kind of what happened, but you didn't really got the full story because they didn't really
that's like a prime
on
example of what we're talking about.
So in that show, you come together with this arranged marriage and you got 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. So what's happening, I think, from a love standpoint, you see very few couples. And I always see that as a problem when you have a show and the success rate is so low, right? Very few couples are coming out of this thing like actually staying together. Mm-hmm. And one of the premises is they're coming into it, and we talked about this in previous episodes. You're coming into a marriage thinking like I got 8 weeks to decide if I'm going to stay married, as opposed to I'm in this marriage forever.
I'm married. This is my spouse.
Right.
How we're going to make this work.
And then we're going to work towards setting up ourselves for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
And then at the 8 week mark, it's really just a check-in point. We're not looking at it as, do I stay, it's just the ultimatum, essentially. Yeah.
Which is
That's
another
show, but we ain't going to get into that dumb behind show. Or dumb concept, should I say.
Of your favorite host.
No, we could dedicate a whole episode to those terrible hosts.
Oh Lord,
blind leading the blind, and we'll talk about that, I guess, at some point. But anyway, so that's the premise of Married at First Sight, and I think it's not having success. The whole concept of this show we're talking about. Can you fall in love with someone in a short amount of time? Is there really a true thing as love is blind, and love at first sight? Well, I think. So the way it's played out in Married at First Sight, it has the potential to be that, right? They see each other at the altar for the first time, which is a crazy concept.
Yeah.
And then the attraction, if it's there, you see those couples that have their attraction.
Click right away.
They have a good starting point, because then from there they start to build on something, right? They have those deep conversations or whatever. But a lot of the couples, they get stuck right there.
Yeah.
Right? They're not attracted to the person, and then they're in their head, they're trying to tell themselves, oh, I could get over this.
Yeah.
Because maybe their personality is so good and yada, yada, yada. But they never, I haven't seen anyone get over it. Mm-mm. No one's getting over it, right?
Yeah.
So you have the concept of, well, okay, I just met you, but I'm attracted to you and we have things in common. Mm-hmm. So this can essentially work.
Right.
I think, when you have the attraction part, unfortunately, even though the show tries to make it seem like it's not that important, I think it becomes a very important thing. And this whole conversation of, can you meet someone and fall in love? I think you got to be attracted to them. I just think I think the other way that it works, where a person is not attracted to a person and they fall in love with them, is friendship, right? Where
they're becoming friends.
Yeah, and that's, I think, it's the long-term game, right? This whole conversation of a short-term thing, part of the equation has to be attraction. Do you agree? I don't see any way around that, because we're seeing this played out. Obviously, that was a factor in ours. Like, I immediately was, attracted to her, and
he was all right,
Yeah. Oh.
No, just joking.
But I was much slimmer at the time, He should go with the locking.
I like to lock his hands when he least expects.
I know. I'm like, come on, give him a hand. But I love it. But yeah, right? Do you agree? You agree? It has to be a part of it.
Because even when it's the opposite, like Love is Blind, and they're talking through the pods for several weeks, and then they like, oh, you're the one for me. And then when they finally reveal themselves, it's still like, oh, you are attractive, or it's like,
yeah,
you know.
And
we've
only watched this one season, right?
Yeah.
So we haven't seen how it played out in other episodes. But there's 2 couples in this season where the female came out and she looked at the guy and they were all, I love you
in the pods,
right? Yeah, in the pods. So the whole concept of let's switch shows. Love is Blind. They're in these pods, these rooms, right? They call them pods, but they're just rooms where it's a connected door and it's thin enough where you can talk clearly through it.
Yeah.
So
but they don't see each other, of course.
Right. So they spend several weeks just talking to, and
dating
it's like speed dating essentially. But then, after a few times, you start to hone in on the person that you really like, and then y'all come in and y'all spend hours. And according to them, they're there, the experiment, they're in this like warehouse, right? And they're there for like 20 days or something. It's like a whole bunch of days. Yeah. And you are every day, like you could talk to that person as much as you want. So you bring your food in there, right? So you're just literally in there just talking. Similar to Kimberly and I, how we had all this time in college, right?
Right. Talking.
Yeah, and I think that's really key in those early stages, is spending a lot of quality time. I think that makes up the gap of someone who is, in their career. You guys are dating on the weekends. You maybe see each other 2 or 3 times a week. Of course, you're going to probably need 2 or 3 years before you like, oh man, this is the one.
Right.
Whereas with Kimberly and I, one of the things in that equation, so we're kind of putting this equation together.
Yeah.
Attraction is 1. 2 is QT, right? It's like QT, quality time.
Communication.
It's like, right. Communications is big too. We'll talk about that, right? But like Kimberly and I, after that date, we saw each other every day. Yeah. Like no matter what we was doing in class all that day, later that night, we were going to see each other. Yeah. And honestly, it wasn't even about physical all the time. Honestly, we were just there. We watched movies. Just when we discovered we like to watch the rom-coms, right? And we like to laugh. But we discovered that really quickly, and we went deep into that. We spent a whole bunch of time, right?
For sure.
So with Love is Blind, I'm kind of liking, I'll let Kim give her part. I'm liking that this pod concept. So I was describing the pod concept. So they're in this room and they're talking. They're basically getting that collegiate, boyfriend, girlfriend kind of time.
Right. Finding out all the information,
Yeah. And I think that's where the feelings and the connection and all those things can happen. Because, some of the couples, they talked about things that, like, for instance, one couple, Zach and Bliss. Even though, without going into it, Zach didn't choose Bliss first.
Spoiler alert if you haven't watched it.
And it was done by Zach.
Yes. My God.
But they had connection with a specific song that his mom gave him, or would have him listen to all the time.
Memorize, yeah.
And and Bliss, her mom dedicated that song to her, and it's like this country song that's not popular. Yeah. So like little connections like that, and her loving owls, or him loving owls, and she mentioning having a dream about an owl protecting her. Yeah. Like little stuff like that. It's like hokey stuff, right? Like we're believers. We don't really get into like astrology and luck and all this other stuff. But there are aspects of things that give you connection, right? Yeah. It's like, what are the odds of you, thinking this at this particular time or having that, right? Those are the things that we just don't know enough about as the human race when it comes to soul ties and soul mates, right?
Come on now with the breakdown.
Yeah, I mean it's this thing we don't know.
Right here.
We don't know enough about it, but it's an exciting and it's a very interesting thing. It is, because we done forgot. I'm sure we forgot all the conversation we had back in that time, but the connection we made, it was a soul connection. Like when I look back at it, like I felt like at home. And that's the best. Like they've used words like warmth. My person.
I say that a lot.
But I mean, it's that feeling like home. Like it's that feeling like I'm back at my place. Yeah. And to feel that with a person through a wall is pretty extraordinary. It's a pretty extraordinary feeling. Now, what happens though? It's like now, some of them talked about it on the show. You've created this avatar essentially of how they look. Right, you got the voice, and now I experienced this on a very low level because I'm a gamer, right? So I play with people from all over the world, essentially. I mean, South America, I got some people I'm gaming with from those areas.
It gives me Ready Player One vibes.
It is crazy. It's a crazy concept because now I have this construct of how this person looks. Mm-hmm. And then a few times I've been able to, because some of the people I've end up, we finding each other on Facebook and we become friends. And I'm like, you look nothing like you sound. It's a crazy experience. So, but before then, you just have this whole construct and you hear their voice every day. So you've developed like who this avatar of this person is. And then to see them not match that in a good way or bad way, it's a very crazy concept. But I think that show does have the elements of, building that connection so that you can, essentially fall in love. Because they start telling each other they love each other before they leave the pods. Like, that's 20 days.
Before they reveal themselves.
Yeah. And it makes sense. At first, before watching the show, I'd be like, ain't nobody going. But once again, it made me. In love. Yeah, it made me go back to, well, actually, that's what Kimberly and I did, We did it a different way. We knew how each other looked. So we already checked off the attraction piece. But the conversation, the deep conversations is where you develop that oneness. So.
Right. For sure. I agree.
So I mean, we're loving the show. I like our main couple that we like was Brett and Tiffany.
From Love Is Blind.
From Love Is Blind. Thank you.
Yeah.
And we like on Married at First Sight. Well, multiple couples. No, just is it just Shaquille and Kirsten?
Oh, Kirsten. Yeah, we believe they have potential.
They have the most potential.
Most potential out of the couples this season.
We see a running theme with Kirsten and one of the girls on Love Is Blind.
Which one?
The girl, the Spanish one.
Oh, Jacquelina.
Jacquelina, yeah. Where
ooh, Jacquelina, Lord.
They want their significant other to read their mind. It's like they're pretty girls and they give off this like, you have to earn my affection, right? I'm not just gonna give it to you, right?
Or but then signals with it.
But then they give mixed signals with it, like, okay, you got to earn my affection. But then at some point, and both of them kind of went through the same thing. They're like, okay, now I want your affection. Give it to me right now. And the guy's like, but I've been having to tiptoe around you because you haven't like freely allowed me to kiss you or be affectionate with you. But now you're ready, and now I'm having trouble. So it's just, you start to see like baggage that people bring into the relationships.
But Jacqueline, on the other hand, like she got mental stuff going on.
Yeah.
So it's like she like, get out of here.
Yeah, she immature.
She's very immature. She was annoying, Lord.
Yeah,
she was.
Yeah. So
I felt bad for Marshall. But
we just got to the part.
Marshall looked like he a little crazy too. Okay.
Kim, the moment she saw his eyes, hey Marshall, man, if you watch this, we apologize, man. It's just some people got to look, but them eyes, bro, you gotta work. Yeah, look like you slice somebody up, man. All right, hey. Some of them looks were like, hey, get her out of there. Yeah. Don't turn the camera off.
Oh, that part.
Yeah, that dude. But yeah, I would say overall, surprisingly, because we fools with Married at First Sight, okay?
Yeah. And that foolishness.
Yeah,
even though we know like 99% of them are not gonna make it. Yeah, we know that, but we still like it. We still like the show.
Yeah, but
just it's like the potential of what it could be. Like, if y'all really just like break these, like put that barrier down, or stop being selfish. Like, you're in a marriage now, so it's not I. It's we.
Yes. They're approaching it like a relationship.
A lot of them, more of them would be able to come out making it than
understanding the sacrifice. Right? We played that clip in one of our previous episodes about sacrifice being such a major part of marriage, and then you see that that's the main thing they're struggling with, that and communication, right? They're not communicating, like in Kirsten's case, she's not communicating that she's ready. And then both of them, like either Shaq and Kirsten or all of the other couples, like, okay, am I willing to sacrifice? Like, I don't have to. One guy wanted the wife to cook. right? And that was big on her. Then he was gonna force her to cook. They're not together anymore. You know, like so you just see you see one couple
for cooking in this season.
Hey, you see, I've owned it. Actually, it's actually a little therapeutic for me.
Did you put your show on?
Put my show on because I have pockets of stuff I do. Right, I'm working. Our obviously I work my main job. I work our other streams.
Yeah.
Then I have my time where I game. Right. Obviously parenting, husband stuff. Right. But then it's like, okay, my show, since I game more, now my show watching time has went down. So now I got a little pocket for that. And it's like, that's something I'm watching the show and I can get something done. So I like it. Anyway, we're talking about how one couple, one guy, he, what's his name was, Elijah Wan.
Him.
He wanted her to cook and everything. Then we get to Steve, where even though my boy was like, yo, I got bread. Like, I got savings. I got money. Not only do I got savings, I got investments. Yeah. She was just like, no, you need to get a 9 to 5.
Because he didn't have a 9 to 5.
Right. Yeah. So it's the inability to compromise, inability to sacrifice. They don't come into it, even though they're telling themselves they come into it. Yeah. And it's like, so the whole show is that fight. You don't see, like, what I love about, Love is Blind. It's like, it has some heart-tugging moments because these people, like, legit in love. And you're like, oh, okay, whoa, okay, all that making out. Like, there's no making, like, I mean, you have a little bit of that on
Married at First Sight.
Yeah. But
not like Love is Blind.
Like, they ain't in love. Yeah. It's a difference. Like, these people be like, I'm for you. Like, and it's pretty good to see. So would you be interested in watching the other seasons?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like, you mean the new ones coming out or the older ones? Oh yeah, we can. I did see somebody comment saying, "Oh, this season made up for 1 and 2." So I don't know.
So the others may not be good,
but we can still watch them because it's only. I like it. This is only season 4, so it's still
okay.
Oh,
this season 4. I thought it was 3. Okay,
no, Love is Blind 4.
Okay, yeah. I'm loving the show. Because. I'm all for the feels. Kimberly joke on me. I watch. So I was just, I love these shows because they start great conversation. I love a great conversation. Kim knows that. That's like part of my love language, right? I love a great conversation that makes you get introspective. It don't have to be deep, right? But it's just like, okay, like, what do you care about your family, right? So like seeing these people interact with their parents and telling their parents, and then like them really convincing their parents, like, no, I'm in love. I just met this person.
The parental like interactions and authentic ones on.
It's authentic.
Yeah,
like it's not scripted. Like some people are like one Bliss dad was going in. He
was not having it.
He was like, basically, you guys are idiots.
Yeah, you're dumb.
But you need to see that, right? Yeah. So I'm loving the shows. We'll probably keep watching both of them. But it like I said, some of the goal with these podcasts that we do is to bring you guys in on some of the regular conversations we have, right? Yeah. Because we think you're having them as well. Like if you're couples like us, these are things, and it's interesting to get perspective. Some weeks we'll be talking about parenting, right? Some weeks we'll be talking about, our mental space, right? Whatever it is, it's whatever. That's why we have the show so open. But relationship is always going to be our go-to because that's just something that's really important to us.
And then, like at the end of the day, like both of us are romanticists at heart. So like we love we love a good love story. So
yeah.
That's why we like rom-coms.
Well, let me preface this. Kim loves a love story that's funny throughout. She don't really like the.
Well, it doesn't have to be
the heart tugger ones. No. I could do those. She can't do them.
No. It doesn't have to. Now, granted, my favorite are the ones I could get laughing, but it doesn't have to be like a laughable one. Like, don't give me a sad one.
But that's what I'm saying. That's a heart tugger.
No, not necessarily. It could be a heart tugger, but it don't have to be sad.
Okay, let's talk about a Notebook. Notebook it's sad to a degree, but it's not really about the fact that at the end, because they're old at the end.
Like, I'll give you an example. One that I watched was, it was on Netflix, and it was with, hold on.
Yeah, look that up. And then, like, okay, so while she's looking that up, one of the ones that she, and it's sad, right? What is it, Scratch?
From Scratch.
From Scratch. Now I heard about this on social media. Everyone's going in, so I like a good heart tugger. So I'm like, let me check it out, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a G up. Let me see it. But I think for the most part, the relationship, I was like, yeah, they in love. It's cool. People were crying all about that. I didn't really get emotional about that. I got emotional about the daughter, right? Spoiler alert. I ain't gonna tell you what happened, but just know when you see the part on the daughter, you get, you get misty up in there. You feel me? But that goes back to me. My heart tugs. The things that get me are family related stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Father, daughter, daughter, son, yeah, all of that stuff. The relation stuff are good too, right? It gets you there too, but it's mainly the family stuff.
I like rom dramas too. So like one I watched was The Noel Diary, and that was with
drama. Okay.
So
words.
This was
intersection. That's an intersection of two words. Rom drama.
And this is with Justin Hartley and Barrett Doss, interracial couple. And it was not at all a rom-com. Like, there was no comedy in the movie.
You enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it. And it wasn't, what?
What was I? Saving the world?
I told you that was...
Wow, you see this? She done told on herself. How she done seen this and then tell me?
Movie. I could watch it again with you. Like, and it wasn't like, it was like a serious one. It wasn't like a comedy one. But I love the story. I love the background and how they eventually got together. Rom drama to me is like, there are parts that will make you like tear up because like, oh, their story, or like I could tear up like once they finally like fall in love, like or because of like things that have happened to them in the past. But it's not necessarily like, it's not like, there's a difference when there's
they don't make much of those
when there's like a sad story, like somebody's dying. Like for me, I'm going to err on the side. I'm a positive person. So I don't like to watch sad stuff. Like for my mental sake, like I'm a positive person. So let's just keep it positive. Yeah. So I like rom dramas. I
go down a rabbit hole sometimes.
I like rom dramas and I like rom-coms. That's just what I like. But anyway, so that is one.
Yeah, we gotta check it out. There's not a lot of those though. Mm-hmm. There's not. Like, I'm trying to think in my head. Most of them gonna have some kind of comedic
Hallmark?
aspect. You're right. Ugh. It's just it's the formatting for me.
It's because of the story.
It's the predictability formatting for me.
Somebody is either what?
They saving the community, okay? They saving the community tree or the community center, okay? It's the same thing.
Big boss in town come to buy up all the buildings or hotels.
And then it's like, well, but it's all this tradition here, and they're like, we're tearing it down on Friday, and then they go to a city event, and they're like, oh wow, this is really rich in culture. It reminds me of my parents that left me. All right, I'm gonna buy those city and keep it the same way it is. Yeah. But then you fall in love with some girl from the city. Come on, people.
Gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Anyway,
classic.
Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the discussion today about. I mean, and listen, we start these discussions. We want to hear from you all. Right?
Yes.
Come on, like, what are your thoughts? Can the title? We're figuring it out. Yeah. But it's gonna be around the lines of. Can you fall in love with someone in a few days, right? Can you meet someone in a shorter period of time, right? We believe it's so. If you asked me this 10 years ago, I'd probably say, nah, you need more time. But kind of looking introspectively, that's exactly what Kimberly and I did. We just played the dating game a little bit more, and we didn't come out forthright and say, I'm in love with you.
Yeah.
I was ready. I would have, if I was brave, if I were willing to be vulnerable at the time, I probably would have told her on our first date that I love her. Oh. But, come on now, you're dating. You like, come on, I don't want to show my hand.
Keep your swagger.
Yeah. So we took 3 months to say something we already knew from the get-go. So so in this concept, it's like they going there. Right. They in their 30s. They like, hey, look,
we ain't got no time.
I ain't got no time to play. You're like, hey, you with me or you're not. So it was really beautiful to see Brett and
Tiffany.
Tiffany.
Who's Ashley?
Who's Ashley? Brett and Tiffany, like that reminded me of Kimberly and I, and they have strong connection from the beginning, and because of that, they didn't have a whole bunch of drama.
No,
I mean drama of overwhelmed with
just overwhelmed, like getting closer to the wedding day. But other than that,
it's like
nothing.
As far as they had no question about them two. Now other couples, you notice they didn't have the right kind of conversations,
right?
And they didn't build. They thought they built something, but it wasn't strong enough to last. So
right.
So yeah.
So I hope y'all enjoyed today's episode. Thank y'all so much for tuning in with us. You didn't have to, but you did.
But you did.
Yes.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
So we appreciate it if you would be sure to follow us.
Yes.
We are on Apple and Google Podcasts. We are on YouTube and on all major platforms. So be sure to like, share, subscribe, and write a great review. All right.
Support us, y'all.
Support us.
We want to grow this podcast so that we can continue. Excuse me. So we can continue to do it.
That's right.
We want to eventually get the sponsors and all that cool stuff. Shout out to that couple podcasts for sponsoring us for the last few weeks.
Yes, y'all did a great job.
You guys are amazing. Thank you.
Amazing. We love y'all.
But seriously, we want to grow it. So please, we appreciate your support. Leave comments. All of those things help, right? Reviews help us. Comments and YouTube help us, right? Just even if you're just like, cool episode. That we'll love that. Anything, right? Yes. Just show the support. We're gonna continue to come before you as consistently as we can.
That's right.
And and just be authentic.
Yeah.
That's where if anything we contribute out of these podcasts is authenticity. That's what our goal is. So
we're that couple, and y'all are that couple too.
Yes.
Until next time.
Peace.